So welcome to our Foothill Shelter. This is a space we are so proud of at the Mustard Seed because it is a place that offers a safe and secure place, a beacon of hope for someone to lay their head as they look for new opportunities. This is a space that has 370 mats, and so we are able to serve that many people every night. That's our traditional amount. Due to COVID, we have of course had to distance our guests, and so we've been able to open a temporary shelter at First Alliance Church where we can split those numbers but not turn anyone away. So thank you for that support. Our shelter here is a dry shelter, and so that means there is a zero tolerance for drugs and alcohol. And what this does is it offers a safe space for anyone who's working and might need to get up in the morning and be fresh for their job. And really, a lot of our guests seek out our shelter for that opportunity. So I'm excited to lead you on this tour. Thank you for joining us. I look forward to moving inside. So as a guest enters our shelter, their first point of contact is this desk where we have our wonderful staff or volunteers greeting them. Those experiencing homelessness are at highest risk for getting infectious diseases, and so we take our protocols very seriously. This is a space where, of course, due to COVID, we have changed those protocols, and a guest will be screened. They'll be asked numerous questions about symptoms or potential symptoms, and their temperature will be taken. We never turn any guests away. And so if a guest does present symptoms, we have an isolation room down the hall that we will lead them to, and they will be taken good care of there with a staff member. As they wait for their negative test result, if they don't have a negative test result, then we will transfer someone downtown to our isolation centers where we have medical staff and nurses looking after them 24/7. Another change with this shelter due to COVID is that we used to be open only through the night, and guests could stay during the day if they were volunteering or they had health conditions. Now, because of COVID, we are open 24/7. We have staff and volunteers here at all times, and we are keeping people safe and giving them somewhere to stay through this strange time. So as we follow down this hallway, guests will line up and they will wait for different services and different questions. One of the first stops is this room here. This is a space where we can support our rules for dry shelter and make sure there's no drug paraphernalia present and that no one is intoxicated. This is also a space where if anyone is working, they can store their tools safely. Of course, we don't want tools entering the shelter space because they can be used as a weapon, but we also don't want people to worry about them being stolen or lost. So if they check them in here, they know they can wake up in the morning and have everything they need for work the next day. So this is a space where we have most of our services and support for our guests. These are offices that guests can book appointments with or access anytime they need. A lot of our staff here are the ones that really dig in to the root of the problem that's causing someone to experience homelessness. And this is a space where professional partners can lift them out of that and start that journey towards wellness. So here we have our employment coach. Our employment coach is someone who can help with resume writing and finding jobs and connecting those relationships and building the skills that someone needs. We even go as far as offering work boots and any kind of apparel that someone might need to really have that step ahead with an interview. We also have our Advocates Office. Advocacy is a program, it's really the first point of contact for a guest who wants to take that next step towards wellness. Our advocates know exactly what kind of programs and support somebody needs to plug into. So they can do government ID services, government payments, occupational therapy assessments. They can do Alberta works, referrals, medical care. They don't do all that, but they refer to anyone who needs that support. So we love our advocates. They work really hard. As we move here, we have our intake room. So if you're a new guest at the shelter, first-time guest, you'll go into the intake room and you'll meet with somebody who will ask you a number of questions. This is a place where you can share your story and a guest can really get the support that they know they need. We never want to assume what somebody needs. These people, they need to share themselves what they think is best, and this intake room is exactly where that happens. One of the programs that your support has been so great for this year is our Diversion Program. That is a program where we use all of these tools to lift someone out of the shelter system. And so you are qualified for the Diversion Program if you come into the shelter and maybe you're already working or you're very independent and you have few barriers to your wellness. And so we know that we can pop you out of the shelter into housing as soon as possible with some of these supports so that you don't get used to living in the shelter. So over here we have our Chaplaincy Office and our spiritual care. Of course, we think this is a really special part of our shelter experience here and the journey for our guests. So the chaplain offers Bible studies, offers a service once a week on Sunday mornings, and of course offers any counsel that anybody would like to voluntarily access. And now we'll move on to the rest of our shelter. This is where a guest first enters and can join into the shelter room. So this is our mat area, and this is where our guests will sleep. And so we have a space here that, as I said, normally takes care of 370 guests a night. Because of COVID, as you can see, we have had to distance these mats, but of course we didn't want to have to turn anybody away. So that's where half of our guests and clients will go over to the First Alliance church site, and they will sleep there. In this space, these mats are comfortable, they're clean, and especially they are safe. And so as you can see, we have our bridge. This is a security center where staff have a 360-degree view of anything that's happening. We also have staff and volunteer that monitor through the nights and make sure everybody is safe and everybody is calm. Another key piece to a good night's rest is having these lockers. So we have 400 lockers up there that we can offer to our guests. And as long as a guest is checking in once a week with that locker, they can keep it as long as they need. They don't have to be coming here every night to use it. This is a really great opportunity for guests because instead of having to sleep with their belongings under them and guard them while they sleep with one eye open, as we say, guests can instead check their belongings, come down and close their eyes and really sleep. So we're proud of that system here. So something we have in this shelter that we didn't have in our old downtown space is this women's only area. So about 10 to 15% of our guests are females, and we are able to offer extra security and safety for women. That's really important in our day and age because often the shelter systems don't see a safe space for women, and then women don't seek out shelter. And so we're excited that we can offer women's bathrooms and a women's space just for them. Okay, so as we move towards our hygiene room, we have another space here where guests can sleep if they're working during the nights. So that's why the lights are lower and we want to be a little quieter as we enter this space. Come on. Welcome to our hygiene room. So this is a space where guests can come and get what they need, again, for a good night's sleep and to feel comfort and to feel support. So in this room, we offer blankets, we offer towels, we offer shampoo, really any hygiene needs that anybody might have. So a lot of our donated items here are individual sized soaps, individual sized shampoos. Those are the very best that we can offer. So thank you for all of your donations. We know that often someone will come home from a trip or traveling and have some hotel sized soaps. We would love it if you wanted to give those here. They would really have a significant impact. Welcome to our clothing room. This space is a really special space. At the Mustard Seed, we always want to look for opportunities to offer dignity and respect to our guests, and this is a space where we can do that. So we have the option, of course, of giving someone clothing and saying, "What size are you?" and just handing them their clothes. But instead of doing that, we open the door and we say, "Come on in. Come choose your clothes, pick what you like, and express yourself with these clothes." And so that is a space where someone feels like they're shopping. They feel like they can take a break from their daily thoughts and concerns. And they can meet with a staff or a volunteer, and they can chat and kind of hang out a little bit. And so I love this place because this is a place where guests leave feeling encouraged. Of course, all of the clothing that we use and offer to our guests is donated by our generous community members like you, and we are so thankful for that. Right now, we are currently looking for winter clothing, although the weather's changing. Those are always helpful things to have. Hats, mittens, toques, jackets. But I don't think you'll be able to guess what our most important donated item is. That, in fact, is men's underwear. And so as you can see in this drawer, we're pretty low on underwear. And one of the reasons for that is that it's pretty easy to think about donating your used clothing, but not a lot of people think about going to a store and picking up an extra pair of new briefs. Of course, all the underwear that's donated here needs to be new underwear, and so that's why we don't receive as much. So we're really grateful if next time you're at the store, you want to just pick up an extra pair and send it along our way. We know that that'll make a difference for one of our guests at this shelter. This is our dining hall. This is a space where guests can share a meal and enjoy the comfort and the love that was prepared in our kitchen. So this is a place we have had to change a lot with COVID. We used to have long tables where everyone could sit together, and now, as you can see, we've separated the tables and we've got all the chairs facing forward. So that's to ensure that we don't have too many people at each table and that everybody is safe and secure and distanced. This is our kitchen. This is a space where guests can find a meal and take their first step towards a better life. Meals, of course, provide nutrition, they provide energy, they provide comfort and hope. And a lot of love goes into what's prepared here. As you can see, it's a busy space and it's always buzzing with volunteers and staff. We could not prepare the meals we prepare here without your help. On average in 2020, we prepared 18,000 meals per month, and we were able to serve that many people and offer that hope to our guests. We serve breakfast, we serve lunch, we serve bag lunch, and we serve 2 dinner rotations. So thank you for everything you've done for us here at the Mustard Seed. We could not do this without your gifts, your volunteering time, and your partnership. And we look forward to that partnership in the future.